Hey guys, Spooks here, and welcome to Kyle is Famous. Now, this is actually a game that I found on Steam that actually looked quite interesting to me, and I know nothing about it, but it has multiple endings, and I like that. So, let's see how famous Kyle is. Kyle wakes up. He is famous. Kyle is host of the most popular talk show in recent memory, Stay Up Late with Kyle. Stay Up Late with Kyle has grown in popularity quickly in the last year, and the public has noticed. Inside has called Kyle a most excellent dumpy white man. Hey, that's me. Top Tech noted that Kyle is inspiring youth to explore STEM fields. Good on him. Most other talk shows are dedicated to discussing Kyle and his personal details. Most online videos are best of clips taken from Kyle's latest broadcast. The eye of the world is upon Kyle. Tonight is Kyle's most important guest interview yet. Stay Up Late with Kyle will be featuring Rachel May. She's a kind and lovely philanthropist. She is dear to the hearts of many. This interview requires preparation. Kyle cracked his eyes open, knowing today is his last chance to prepare for the interview. Kyle has 30 hours left. He must choose his actions wisely. Kyle's first decision of the morning was made wisely. Wither away. Kyle decided to stay put and wither away. Kyle withered successfully and died. Shucks. Kyle is now a ghost. This does not relieve him of their responsibilities. Get out of bed anyways. Kyle exited his bed and took a quick glance around his bedroom. What's in the closet? Kyle opened the closet. It was dark and he could only really see his hanging shirts. She's now fit. Kyle decided to take some time to choose the perfect outfit. Suit of armor? Because I'm a ghost. Kyle is unsure of what exactly caused him to decide to wear his armor, but it felt like the right thing to do. After much squeezing and sweating, Kyle managed to wrap the metal suit around his dumpy self. Kyle returned to the center of the bedroom. Let's scavenge. Kyle quickly crouched down on the floor, realizing his immediate need for bugs. Kyle started to pick between the fuzz of his bedroom carpet, hoping to catch a stray beetle or two. Soon he had a small handful of various insects dead and alive. Kyle threw back his head and crammed the sticky, wriggling mass into his mouth. He felt refreshed. Kyle returned to the center of the bedroom. Sit at a desk. Kyle made his way over to his desk and sat down. What's in my drawer, I wonder? Kyle opened up the side drawer on his desk and grabbed one of the items stored there. A small key. Kyle grabbed the small key he kept in his desk. Well, now I want to know what the key does. Write notes for the interview. Kyle wrote down his first question. Am I a mother? Kyle wrote down a second question. Beef. Mashed or blended? Kyle wrote down his third question. I purposely ran over a puppy. Kyle wrote down his last question. Are you guilty? Kyle ripped his page of notes out of the notebook and got up from the desk. Kyle made his way over to the desk and sat down. I gotta know what this key does. Check locked door. Kyle walked over to the strange door in the hallway, but found quickly that the door was locked from the inside. Poor lie through as a ghost. Kyle used his ghostly powers to walk straight through the door. Kyle found himself in the room that he stashed the various items sent to him by fans. Check the sewing machine. Kyle walked over to the dilapidated sewing machine. Its box was nearly half removed. Dang. Kyle hurried to the set. Per normal, he ceased to be a ghost before. Per normal, he ceased to be a ghost before he arrived. Sitting across from his host was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking him in the eyes. I've been looking forward to bring you here. Kyle responded, scream and spin in circles. Kyle started to stretch out his arms wide, tilted his neck upwards, and was interrupted by his producer telling him and Rachel that it was time to start the show. A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle, looking at the camera. Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle. Kyle vomited all of the horrible things he'd eaten earlier onto the floor. Rachel looked at Kyle concerned, gave a couple of coughs, and decided to play it cool and keep the show running. Kyle stopped, then vomited again, then continued with a shaky voice. Tonight I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. Kyle mentioned to Rachel, who smiled and waved at the camera. Hello, Kyle, she said. I'm glad to be here. Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss. We might as well dive right in, said Kyle. I'm very ready, said Rachel with her winning smile. Kyle produced the notes he had taken early. Are you guilty? Rachel, are you guilty? Kyle threw his questions on the floor, stood up and pointed at her. Rachel's eye twitched slightly. Guilty of what, dear Kyle? She smiled disgenuously. Guilty, spat Kyle, of your crimes. Rachel did not answer. Her eyelids both started twitching uncontrollably. Kyle asked another question. A burning question from the fans, said Kyle. Beef, do you prefer it mashed or blended? Rachel answered quickly and honestly. Mashed. And no more was said on that matter. Kyle asked another question. Hey, I ran over a puppy on purpose, said Kyle. Everyone in the studio froze. Kyle spread his hands out wide. It's a joke. He started laughing from the bottom of his stomach. Nobody laughed with Kyle. Several minutes later, he stopped laughing and moved on. Kyle asked another question. Rachel, am I a mother? Kyle looked at her very seriously. Rachel was visibly very unsure how to respond. Well, Kyle, I think you might be a better source of answering that question than I am. But do you think I'm a mother? Asked Kyle, pushing further. Rachel paused for a second before answering. I think you inspire youth to prefer STEM fields, she answered. After reading his final question, Kyle looked up from his paper. Well, Rachel, he said, I think that's all I was planning on asking you. If that's the case, Kyle, may I ask you something in return? Asked Rachel, smiling one more time. Why exactly did you wear a suit of armor today? Before Kyle could answer, the camera shut down. The broadcast was over. Kyle returned home knowing the interview had gone well. As he lay in bed and drifted to sleep, he felt that perhaps something was still missing. Kyle prepared very well. You should come watch this. It's a pretty funny game. It's pretty great. So, we withered away and died in our bed. We dressed in a suit of armor. We picked through our rug to find beetles to eat. We found a small key. We pretty much threw up over everyone and scared the person you're interviewing. But we prepared very well. So let's try this again. We have 28 endings. I like this game. Okay, so we're going to wither away again. Shucks. Because now Ghost got out of bed anyways. Okay, we are going to... Because I want to explore more. I couldn't explore last time. Alex's bed took a quick glance around his bedroom. We are going to check in the desk drawer. We are going to get this small key. Can I get the other things too? Dope. So I've got all those. So let's go ahead and go back to the room. The bedroom to the hallway. Let's float through as a ghost. Go inside. Ooh, okay. Kyle found stuff in the room. He stashed the various items sent to him by fans. Check laser claymore. Check supernatural artifact. This is one of the many artifacts Kyle has been sent over the years. Grab it. Kyle stashes the mysterious artifact for later use. Back to the room. Expecting a battle, Kyle grabbed the laser claymore. Oh, I gotta dress as a knight again. Return to bedroom. I gotta dress as a knight. Suit of armor. Well, I have no notes. Kyle hurried to the set. Per normal, he ceased to be a ghost before he arrived. Sitting across from his host's chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. Throw artifact at Rachel. As she approached to shake his hand, Kyle produced the supernatural artifact and winged it at Rachel's face. Within moments of the artifact colliding with her head, Rachel started to turn into a lizard demon. Rachel began to cause destruction, tripping over lights and causing crew members to scatter. Kyle, realizing the disaster he had caused, decided it was up to him to tame the monster. Kyle started to grab nearby crew members and hurled them at Rachel. The crew members rebounded off Rachel on all sides, causing little to no damage to her or themselves. In a lizard demon rage, Rachel rushed at Kyle and drove him into the opposite wall, face first. She began to pound Kyle's face into the wall repeatedly, littering it with head-sized holes. I have a sword. Kyle, having been in this situation before, felt he knew exactly what to do. Balling his fist, Kyle began to punch himself in the stomach repeatedly, causing loud gurgles and pops. Kyle's strategy did not help. He continued to be bashed into the wall. After a period of time, the artifact lodged into Rachel's face became loose and fell to the floor. Rachel immediately turned into her normal human self. The studio, now in shambles, flicked to life. The broadcast had started automatically. Kyle, unable to move properly, became aware that the eyes of many were upon him. Kyle tried to address the audience, but instead spewed some mixture of breakfast, phlegm, and chunks on the wall, or chunks of wall. Kyle's spewing baby became a very hot meme. Online personalities used it to express distaste about social issues. Teenagers sent it to each other about homework amounts. Rachel's broadcast was rescheduled for the following week. Fans complained about not being able to see Rachel's face as she wore protective headgear the entire time. Rachel prepared by being a lizard. See, this is a fun game. I'm going to save time by exiting that. I'm going to grab the key, because I feel like the key might go to somewhere in the kitchen. Check pantry. Aha, I want to access the pantry, but found it is locked with a small key. Pantry door creaked as if it hadn't been moved for years, but eventually opened. Look in the pantry. Instead of an assortment of canned goods and grains, Kyle's pantry stored his massive amount of bottled lard. Kyle voraciously grabbed the closet bottle, snapped the neck against the wall, and sucked out all of the fat within a minute. Chug a lard bottle. Kyle wildly sucked down another bottle. He felt very sick. Chug another. Kyle's vomit and the lard were mixing in a way to make it hard to tell which was which. Finish off with the pantry. As Kyle finished the last bottle of lard, he felt a wave of accomplishment come over him. What's in the fridge? Kyle opened the fridge intending to find something to eat. Eat the fridge. Kyle pointed his neck directly upwards and hoisted the fridge on top of his face. Somehow, miraculously, he wrapped his mouth around the device. He started to swallow. In one slow, horrible movement, the fridge slid down Kyle's throat. After many gurgles, pops, and snaps, Kyle felt relatively sure the fridge would not come back out. Well, I ate the fridge. I should probably get close. Skunk pasties. Child chose the pasties made out of mashed skunk flesh. Getting the slimy garments to stay proved difficult, so Kyle opted to stick them to his body with hot glue. Well, we have no notes. Kyle hurried to set. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. "Good evening, Kyle," she said, looking him in the eyes. "I've been looking forward to being here." Kyle responded. I'm going to answer politely this time. "And I as well, Rachel," answered Kyle, extending his hand in greeting. "You are a most welcome guest." After another mild exchange of pleasantries, Kyle and Rachel were prompted to take their places for the broadcast. A moment after seeing, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. "Good evening, everyone," said Kyle, looking at the camera. "Welcome to Stay Up Late with Kyle." Kyle vomited all of the horrible things he had eaten earlier onto the floor. Okay, so this part is kind of the same. Vomited again. Now I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. Become Rachel May. "However," said Kyle suddenly, dropping his voice, "Rachel May is not sitting next to me. She is not new to the show. She did not walk in before me. In fact," said Kyle, "I am Rachel May." Rachel looked at Kyle confused, sadly about the words. "Who are you?" "Wait, you are who?" Kyle stood up quickly and threw his arm high above him, pointing upwards. I have never been Kyle, he shouted. I have never been the host of the show Stay Up Late with Kyle. Kyle looked and pointed directly at the camera. I am here for but one reason, to interview myself. Kyle sat down on his chair and went to produce the notes he had taken earlier. It was then that Kyle remembered that he had not bothered to prepare any notes for the interview. Realizing he did not know how to handle the situation, Kyle began sweating profusely, but he continued. Fortunately, he said, is your name Kyle? No. Kyle slammed his fist down repeatedly, then he stopped talking. A thick, uncomfortable silence hung over the studio. The silence did not end. The cameras continued to roll. Nobody moved or spoke. Eventually, Rachel got out of her chair and walked off screen. One by one, members of the crew followed suit. Eventually, Kyle was left alone in the studio, camera still running, silently sitting in frame. This episode of Stay Up Late with Kyle became the longest episode in television history. Kyle continued to sit in front of the camera all night and into the morning, wishing it would end. As evening fell again, the crew shuffled back in one by one, getting in places to film that day's episode. Kyle continued to sit motionless, cameras rolling as the crew chatted about their days and got in position. Eventually, the crew officially started the next episode. Kyle was prompted to introduce himself again. Kyle had produced an incredibly artistic episode. I sure was artistic. Alright. I think that's probably good for this video. If you guys want to see more of this, definitely let me know, because as you saw, there's a lot more endings that we can get, and I'd love to get them. I may get them on my free time, but I'd love to make videos of it. So let me know if you guys would like to see more, and you know what? Get up, seize the day, or wither in bed and die and turn into a ghost if you really want to. But thank you guys so much for joining. If you like this, check out some of the other videos down below, and I will put a link to this game in the description as well. So until next time, stay spooky. Toodles!